All
Oh
right. Hey,
man.
thank y'all for tapping in to Streetball the Pro. I got my right hand man, Ballaholic. It's the ambassador and our brother Shad, Coach Rashaad Powell. Man, congrats, like you said, to winning district. I had the pleasure to watch him. Like for those who know me or don't know me, like me and him, Shot, that was my teammate. So it was when I got blessed and welcomed into playing at the pro level in Seattle. So the TBL now was the IBL for us. You know what I mean? And so these were the guys, the best of the best. You know what I mean? You had Shad, Watts, all these guys were my teammates. And so they're like, although I'm older, they're like my big brothers. You know what I mean? In a sense where I was that guy, like I tell you, those who play in the NBA, you had your superstars and then you had the other guys, you know what I mean? They're still pros, you just don't know them. You know what I mean? I was like, man, that guy, you know what I mean? That had the chance to play Coach Redwine, Shots Pops, Mad Love. Them two is the ones who, opened up the door, gave me the opportunity, and then encouraged me along the way. You know what I mean? As a player, life, you know what I mean, in business. And so me and Shad, that's my guy. So when I'm
Right.
talking to him and he Cardell, I'm like, okay, if they say Cardell Butler, they know you personally. You know what I mean? I had to set it all up. And so, man, of course, Shy came through. So we're going to tell some stories because I didn't know that y'all played against each other. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we was chopping up backstage and we started getting excited. So we're going to pick up here. So, Shy, pick up on the story.
Man, playing Utah State. So I'm at Idaho. Utah State's the top dog in the league, man. They're top tier. They got the talent, and it was just like you to beat them. Was a pinnacle, but like it like they ran so many sets, and it was like they pick you apart. They had guys that they had athletes. They had guys that were high IQ guys. They were well coached, and the whole bit. Like it wasn't like it was. I mean, it was crazy, and so. We went and played them in Logan at Utah State. They're top tier. I don't know if they were ranked at the time. They may have been, but we play them, and they had these. This is the first time I've seen this. Like they had these flip charts, and I never understood why they had these flip charts. And I thought it was just kind of like which it may be the same case. They had two coaches that would have flip charts with their plays on them, right?
Okay.
So if you couldn't pick up on the calls or what, we played them at Logan, man. When I tell you, you couldn't hear from the court 5 feet away. It was that loud. Like it was literally like it was like you'd be 5 feet away and all you could do was like this. You could be yelling and you couldn't hear anything. I'm like, that's what dang flip charts are for. The calls, the play calls. Anyway, man, we have a back and forth game, man, and we ended up edging them in Utah State. And it was the craziest thing because it was just like it was, they were just the top tier. And like I said, you had, Cardale and Spencer Nelson and a couple other guys. They were tough, man, and they were well coached to the T, man. And it was insane. I just remember it was just the loudest thing ever. Like I'm like, this is insane. But it was a good game, man. For us anyway. And we played one of our better games, and but I think from there, then Cardale and I maintained contact after that, and just stayed in the loop and had some kind of pro battles later, and it was just one of those things of how basketball can keep you connected through things, and like I said, fast forward 20 years, here we are, and you connected. So it was that'll always be my. So anytime I hear Utah State. I automatically think Cardale, and I think of that story. Now, granted, they beat us every other time I got to put that out there.
And they did get us though, and it's crazy because the scouting report was based on Rashaad. Like we did our practice the day before. We had someone literally on our scout team play like how you played, and I told my coach, I said, "Coach, let me go. I know him. I know how he plays. So let me guard him." Like, "No, Cardale, you can't guard me. Too athletic." And I was like, "All right." I was like, I understood that because he was. I was like, yo, I said, he's a 3, but he got a guard. His game is a guard, but he's a small forward, but his game is a guard. He's a guard. So play him like a guard. And I forgot who was guarding you, but they was coming to me every time. Hey, Cardale, if he's jabbing 2 times to the right, what do I do? I said, you got to have a hand up. Because if not, that's what he wants you to do. He's going to bait you. So he jabbed twice. Just stay there. Don't move. Don't move. But Shad was anywhere around that free throw line, man. It was just money. Like anywhere it was times I had to cheat off because I knew. I said, he's gonna do a spin move, he's gonna get Spencer in the air, he's gonna get an and one, he's gonna get in some way he get into the basket. So I got it interrupted somehow, some way. But I just never could though. Every time I didn't, it was like he's scoring. But it's like now I can't even get involved because he already gone. So Shaw was already that dude. Every time we played Idaho, whenever we did, his name was Circle. Because that was the main guy. They had other dogs too, but he was the main guy who we had to worry about because he was the one who was getting everyone. He was leading by example. He was the one getting the motor started. He was the one getting that first touch to play the game. They going to him, whether it be in the post, mid-range, they go, even on the wing, they going to him because they know he's going to make something happen. So we all had to suck in every time he gained possession of the ball. But the play calling, man, like, no lie, we had red and blue we had a total, I said our playbook, man, we had a total maybe 60 plays.
Oh, wow.
And yeah.
Look back.
Hey, man, and it's crazy because we had to know all of them. And each play, like you said, it was one of our coaches had the blue side, one had the red side. Each time we flipped it, it was a set. And Coach Morrow was calling the plays from those sets. So each set was about, I think maybe a total of 15 to 20 different sets. So blue was 20, red was 20, yeah. And then Coach would go, one game he'd go, we're going red. So even though the blue was still flipping, we going off the red cards. The confusion went to all the other coaches was them flipping the blue. So the other game, okay, we going blue, y'all, but they still flipping the red and the blue. And coach is still doing the calls from his hand. So they're like, what is he calling? And that's how it got us to success. And it was the smartest thing I ever been around. Like that was so genius. But the only thing that messed me up was just the plays. We had to we studied them plays so much, Coach. I was studying them plays more than I was doing my homework.
Because they were Ash. It wasn't because it was intricate. It wasn't no just like boom, boom, boom. There was like an action and an action and an action and a follow up action, and like 6 actions later is where the basket comes.
Right.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. So to have to, to have to prepare for that. Usually you think like okay, there's a cross screen, down screen, and boom, this happens. Like, man, that was just like, that's just the setup to the setup. It was crazy.
Yeah, all right. What he's saying, that just double the stagger screen. That's the bait for the next thing to come. You know what I mean? And even that setup is like, Coach, what are you talking about? What do a what cut? Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. So it was just like, man. But every time we played against a team like Idaho, and they had Rashaad or UC Santa Barbara or Cal Poly or even Northridge, when we went to their place, we had to, because they had home, Northridge and LA is packed. So those type of teams we had to bring out, we had to go on our bag. We had to bring out them type of plays, man, because like I said, even playing against teams like Idaho, we knew that it was certain teams that okay, this team can go. This team can actually, they'll beat us. It was Idaho, I say, in our conference, Idaho, Cal Poly, who else was like that? Northridge.
Irvine and Santa Barbara, it was solid. I don't know how you guys matched up against them, but
yeah, they were pretty good. Yeah, Brandon Fuller for Santa Barbara, they actually were pretty good. Yeah, they were. Yep.
Yeah.
So it was
Utah State was the top dog, man, and he was the guy. He was the guy that made them go. So, I think our junior year, listen, man, they had the strongest guy, Ash. They're the strongest guy I've ever faced in my life.
Oh, damn.
Des, go ahead and say it. Des, I will never. Hey, Ash, it's like a brick wall, man. Buddy was like a brick. You talking about I couldn't move. Like I'm like, and it's like I'm down there wrestling and strong and he just moved just nice and boom. Like, God, man, what? Yeah, I tell you, I was so glad he was done when he left, boy. That fool there was strong as an ox.
We got to the tournament. He gave Nick Collison 25. He went off on Nick Collison from Kansas.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah, 25,
strong
man.
ox, man.
How big was he? How tall was he?
About
Dez was only
6'7".
6'7", 6'8",
Yeah, like he big, like big, thick body, strong.
Yeah, like Charles Barkley, big too. Yeah, could shoot, and he could dunk. He was athletic too.
Yeah, you wasn't moving him.
Nah, yeah, he wasn't.
Yeah.
They I think they inducted him into the Hall of Fame up at Utah State. Yeah. It's crazy though, man. It's so crazy though, man, because it was like, because I remember y'all had that, y'all probably had the biggest stadium, because y'all had like a sports court, right? It was like a big ass curtain, and then
Yep.
I'm telling you, they had like a real NBA floor. That thing was, gosh. They had a real court. Like theirs was big. Like our court was like big. Yeah, y'all had a dome. Yeah, y'all had a dome. Yeah, yep. Man, 96. I'm guessing 97 feet on y'all court, man. Serious.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. Yeah. Yep.
That year, who else did y'all have on y'all team that year? Y'all, who else was on y'all squad that year? I know y'all had. Let me see. I think y'all had a left-handed guard too. He was nice.
It's Williams, shooter from Chicago.
Yeah.
Him, athletic, was Ty Hayes. Dark skin, 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
T. Shep. I can't remember. Shep was hurt. Little guard from Saginaw, Michigan. Yeah, we had a decent little crew, man, and you know what I'm saying. It was, we just competed, man. I think that was the biggest thing, and so, it was good, man. It was good. Man.
And what I liked about our conference is that like a lot of our games were in California. Right?
Oh man, especially for us, because get out that snow.
Well, hey man. Hey, Coach, we literally in California every weekend. I'm talking about Long Beach State, Cal Poly, Irvine, Cal State Northridge, Fullerton, Santa Barbara, Long Beach State, like all California teams.
That's every other week. That was love. That's one thing I did love, man. Every what is that, Tuesday, Wednesday, go get on that plane. We out. Yeah, that was love, man.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
Yeah, and then and after that, I went and linked up. Like I said, that's why I crossed paths with Ashley a year or two after that, man. And it was seeing he mentioned role players and star players, or however he put it, though, man. It was which is part of the reason why we always stayed linked, man. Humble, hardworking dude, people, person. And he'll downplay himself. He wasn't that bad. He just at all. But he could play. No, he could play, and he was he was one of those guys that was a great team guy to help make the team better. You know what I mean? And help them. So he was solid, man, and definitely was somebody. Like I said, we've stayed in contact too through all the years. And again, that's I think the love of hoop and the joy of hoop, and the beautiful thing about it is it connects people. You know what I mean? Because how the connection of the three of us is three totally different worlds.
I know, right?
And you know what? It's so crazy, man. And I told this to Coach Ashley. Ever since I met him, he's been helping me up on my pedestal, man. He's been getting me there, man. I met him in Mexico, and 3 weeks later we playing in London. But the love started in London. I'm talking about like the love from I didn't know I had fans out there. I had some parents come down. I had a parent and her kids came down, drove down like 2 hours just to meet me. And I didn't know. Coach let me know. I didn't even know. And then after that, a lot of stuff has happened, bro. Like everybody that he's ran across, I know. No. You're the third person, bro. You're the third person. I swear, no lie. You're the third person. Is just wait, Rashaad, who? Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then,
exactly what I told him.
It's so small. It is. especially like the basketball world too. Like it's just so small. I mean, you just never know who you might know. Ever since I linked up with Coach, he's been like it's sometimes I get speechless because like this shit can't be happening. It can't be real, bro. This is a dream, man. Because Darnell Taylor, I went to the same high school with who I should train with. He knows Coach Ashley.
Darnell?
Yeah.
Darnell Taylor, you know DT?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What? Yes.
So we all know each other, man.
That's funny.
Man. See what I mean? And then,
we've been there.
Right. And then he had as a guy from Baylor who knows a guy named Cyril White who sent me to China. I'm cool with him as well too. Then now you, like, it's just like, bro, like this shit can't be happening, man. This got to be a setup. This got to be. Hey, and if it's a setup, if it's rigged, only one man is responsible. That's God, man. And if he's setting this up this way, I'm with it.
Yes,
I'm with it.
The thing I'll say about Ash, man, is that he's been taking his opportunity, his platform to create opportunities for guys, man. That's huge, and he's paying it forward, to help other guys and create a platform for other guys, man. A lot of guys, younger guys that I know and that were, and I think the benefit of it and the beauty of it is that those are the same opportunities that you were wanting, that we were wanting when we were younger, and now you've spun that off into your brand, and you're creating an opportunity for guys and platforms for guys. The Jeff Perkins, the Wanis, a ton of other guys, man, that you're creating opportunities for that otherwise maybe wouldn't have those things. And so that's what this whole thing is about, man. The fact that, we have the opportunity to be a part of that. And then, now for you to have kind of made your own brand with it, and you're making these connections and creating opportunities for people, man, that's beautiful. And that's what it's all about. And, I love to see that. And guys are, benefiting from and flourishing from that, man. So keep on doing what you're doing with that, man. That's wonderful.
Hey, and another, I'm gonna add to that. I ain't gonna lie, like I had this dark cloud over my head. Coach Ashley to tell you my story. I tell him, he knows it, and someone was using my name, man. And I wasn't gonna do nothing, but I wound up going to Tijuana just to get back into it. And I swear, 24 hours later, my first game was against Coach Ashley in Mexico, in Tijuana. And then later on that day, he was just like, bro, I didn't know this was you, bro. And he's like, man, let me holler at you real quick. So he had talked to me. I'm just like, oh, shit, like this going to be somebody else trying to get over me. But he's like, yo, this is my vision. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing this. I didn't work with this. In my mind, I'm like, damn, like this is the same vision that I had, but I didn't know it was going to come like this. So he's like, yo, we can work something out. You know what I'm saying? Let me know by tomorrow. And then the contract was signing that jersey, man, because I just thought about it all night. Like, yo, like, Cardell, this is what you've been wanting. This is what you've been waiting for. This is another opportunity. And that's what I'm thinking, like, yo, I didn't mess up the opportunity going to the NBA, rocking with the Knicks. I messed that up, And no offense to And1, but I chose to go on And1. I tell people, like, I wasn't scared to get to the league. I go, yeah, you were scared. Or, no, I wasn't scared to get to the league. It's just that I made a wrong, immature decision, and I messed up a great opportunity. And now that was the flashback. So now it's like, yo, this is another great opportunity. This man said he's doing this, Cardell. This is his vision. Look him up. I did my homework on him that day. So I was like, you know what? I'm going all in, man. I can't keep having this dark cloud over my head that somebody didn't already use me already. Just not even me, but my name, just so they can get credit or whatever the case. And I had to throw it out the window. I didn't want to keep using it as an excuse for me not doing nothing that I'm good at. So I went in with it, and it hit me. They're like, yo, after you sign with me, it ain't gonna be the same, man. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen quick. And I'm just like, man, whatever. In my mind, I'm not verbally saying it, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, he just saying it to probably just to pump me back up. And I was like, okay, I get it. All right, coach. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go with it. But bro, all of a sudden he go, so your flight is I'm gonna just send it to you. I'm like, wait, what? Right? I don't know you like that. You already sent me flight information. It's 3 weeks later. I don't know you. Yeah, right. And like, yo, we wearing these jerseys. Shot. I'm not lying, bro. He sent me the jersey, the shorts, and the warm-up ballaholic. I'm like, who is this dude, man? So he sent me my flight info. Like, bro, I cannot be going to London already, bro. I only know this man for 3 weeks. He already sending me to London to play basketball. I said, this can't be happening, God. This cannot be happening. And bro, it was happening, man. And I the first thing I did when I got off the plane, I made a live video and I posted it, bro. I got like maybe over 4,000 views, bro, just because of that. And that alone, I wasn't even thinking about the views. I'm thinking about, damn, this man is brought me back on my cloud that quick. Like, you know how the sun is out and then that cloud come over and it gets dark quick, right? And then and then it leaves and the sun comes right back out. That's exactly what he did, man. That's exactly what he did. You know what I mean? And ever since then, it's been nothing but good stuff. He's helping with my clothing brand, bro. And I'm glad I got the experience that I had this first time because now I understand it. And nothing can go good all the time. Nothing can go good all the time. You know what I mean? And but for someone like Coach Ashley to let me know that it's gonna be okay. And there's other things that, you know, that he sent me. It had nothing to do with basketball, but more so life, like spiritual stuff that I wasn't going through. Like, yo, listen to this. This will help you out. And it's crazy because I'm not listening to this, but some of the things that I listened to, rather be one word or 2 words, it made sense. Like, yo, that was in my mind. That one word or that one saying, it was in my, my thought process. Damn, thank you, Coach Ashley, again. Like, this man does not stop working, bro. Like, he does not stop. And the feedback that I hear from other people we did podcasts with has said the same thing you said, man, or even more. So it's just like, yo, this dude, this who I need to be rocking with. This is who is representing me, and I'm gonna keep saying it. This man is representing me, and I'm more than okay with it. You know what I'm saying? So, and Coach Ashley don't give himself enough credit for that. You know what I mean? Like he's so humble. Yeah, he won't. He'll be like, man, we all eat. He gonna say that, but. You know, but for us, for me, you, and everyone else, we're gonna be concrete and vivid, very detailed about the things that he's doing for people and for kids, man. And then it's just like, man,
even like I said, for me, it's having been there at the day one before he was doing any of this, when he was when he was just trying to get on.
Yeah.
Right. Like he wasn't the guy. Like he wasn't the guy, or even the guy. He was just kind of there, you know. And I'm not saying that in a disrespectful way, but then he just he sat back, I think, and looked up the game and figured out, okay, how do I do this? And he's playing and And then when he kind of made that transition, transition wasn't for self. Transition was for, okay, I soaked all this stuff up. I made contacts and networks. Now, how do I use this to help the next guy and again, I mean, I don't, from me looking on the outside looking in, it doesn't look like it's for personal gain or self. Right. As you said, we all eat. And so that's been the most impressive thing, because especially in this day and age, it's like everybody wants something. Everybody wants to go say, you know, I did this for that guy, or I did that for that guy, you know, and I'll give a prime example. Me coaching high school basketball up here now, you know, I spend a lot of time working with kids and even at my youth program. And it's not, there's a lot of top tier kids in Seattle that I've worked with. There's a kid that recently just got drafted in the NBA that I helped kind of hand in hand, and he's doing really well. You'll never hear me hop on the internet and pound on my chest and say, I did this for that guy, I did that for that guy. And I think that's because, you know, thinking about Coach Ad, like that wasn't the cloth that we were cut from or raised from. And that's, moreover, that's not why we got into this. That's not why I extended my hand. That's not why I did this, to glorify myself. I learned something or was given something along the way that now I can give back to help the next person. If that happens to, you know, be the, you know, whatever the thing is, okay, great, you know, but it's not for self glorification or self, you know what I mean? I think that's the thing for him.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Shaw, because you have a lot of people, coaches, even, you know, these parents that do that. They get that, I did this for my son, I did this, and then now the kid is not up to what they think they're supposed to be because of the parent or because of the coach or because of whoever think it's just me, yeah, let me post it about him. And prime example, you know, Julian Newman, you know what I'm saying? His dad pushed him to the max because of what his dad was doing. Oh yeah, I put my son on this varsity team when he's 10 years old. Oh yeah, I created a school for my son to go to so he can play, so he could dominate. Oh yeah, I got all these sponsors for my son to boost him up to what he is today. What is he today? Julian Newman. He's not a pro ball player. He's Julian Newman. He's Julian Newman, right? And Julian Newman thought that, yo, my dad put me on this pedestal. I'm going to be the greatest. But guess what? You're 5'8". You're playing against giants. Did your dad make you understand that? No, because you can see it. You can see when you see it. The teams that he played against, these giants, what he's doing. You can tell. Like, I'm going to the basket. They're not going. Yes, they are, because your dad didn't tell you the other stuff, but he's been to like you said, Shad. So, and it sucks. Even for guys like even Alonzo Ball brothers. It's only one that's really playing basketball professionally right now. One of them is not going to play anymore at all because of his knee. And then the other one, but it starts with the dad. I'm going to start baller brand with these 3 Bs. I'm going to get my kids into the league. I'm going to start this professional league overseas so I can get my, you know what I'm saying? And look where, so that plays a big factor, man, when you, and it's bad luck when you do that. It's bad luck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some athletes will talk about, like, because even for me, sometimes I don't want to get forced into talking about myself. I'll say little stuff, but I don't want to be arrogant and egotistic about it. You know what I mean? Let me just, like, I work my ass off. This ain't gonna happen. As opposed to, I am. I am the ballaholic. This is what I do. You know what I mean? I don't do that, man, because it's bad luck. You know what I'm saying? So
difference is you've been there. You've played Division I basketball. You've played pro basketball. You understand what it takes. And that's the hard part is a lot of times I think you get people involved in these situations where they haven't done that. They know, but it's not a guy who's played Division I basketball and had to get up at 6 a.m. for the workouts and do all the things, right? All the things that go, like, they just see the sweatsuits and the shoes and the games on TV, and I'm like, you know what I mean? There's a whole lot of stuff that goes into that. There's a whole lot of work that goes into that. Now, again, there's some people that are, if you're, uber extremely talented, that maybe you don't have to do that. But for the majority of us, we had to go in there and put in those extra hours and time with nobody watching, before there was social media, before we grew up there in an era in time where there wasn't a guy that was there filming the workout for you to go put on the internet. No, that's just, we was in there doing work, and you go and work, and that was it. And so I think that's the difference. And then, so there becomes like a false sense of what the reality is. And I'm circling back to Coach Ash. There was plenty of times Coach Ash could have quit on his professional journey when we linked up, because he wasn't a guy that was the main guy. Now, again, think about today's kid, right? If they're in a situation where they're not the main guy, right? They're out of there. They're not going to stick with that. There's no perseverance. There's none of those things that are built into kids and I think that's from a young age. So, like, let's take this conversation to high school hoop, right? And I don't know what it's like, where you're at, but up here in Washington, I think there's a lot of that. Like, if you hold kids accountable, or you don't cater to them, like you make them focus on the right things, or play basketball the quote unquote right way. That's for the most part, because you understand what they're going to need at the next level, right? When they get that college, a guy wasn't going to get a scholarship to Utah State and get the ball and say, all right, we're going to give you the ball and get the hell out of the way and let everybody go. That wasn't. That ain't happening. Right. And there's very few places, even for the most elite of elite guys, that's going to happen. You're still going to have to go out there and run some kind of set, some kind of system. You might get the ball if you're top tier, 5-star, whatever the deal is. Yeah, you might get the ball more than some other guys, right? But for the majority of us, or for them, the majority of them, you're going to have to learn how to run a set and play and play basketball in some form of a system. And then if you're not doing the right things defensively or whatever else wise, okay, you might get subbed out of the game, right? And you're being coached. Yeah. Well, I think now there's been the culture of that is if that happens and, the parents are not on board with that or don't understand that. No, my kid shouldn't come out of the game or this, that, and the third. Then it becomes, forget that. We're out of here. And they listen to, an outside person that comes and coaxes them to go transfer to another school or another situation. And, and then now you're building in the mind that, everything has to be the exact way. So now if this kid gets to college, they're going to expect that that's the way things go in college. And it's the same way Ballaholic shaking his head. No, he knows that's not the way. You will be on the first thing smoking back home, and then you'll get back home and talk about how coach is tripping.
Yeah.
So, no,
man,
that's called coaching and you being held accountable. So if you're not ever, if that kid is never taught to be accountable or to be coached, you're setting him up for failure. But see, coaches, and again, I can't speak for down where you're at. Coaches here, I think, are afraid of that a lot because they're afraid that kid is going to transfer and that kid's going to leave and go to a different school, right? Because if that's what's happening. And so, and it's a real thing. And to be honest, man, I'll use myself. I think that happens to me. Like I lose a ton of kids, man. Not a ton, but I lose some kids to some stuff like that. And it's disappointing, and I think once people make the move and they transfer their kid, they realize A, the grass isn't greener on the other side, and B, oh wow, maybe that wasn't the best situation or decision for me that guy wasn't wrong. But again, like I said, I'm preparing you for the next stop and the next level so you can be coachable, so you understand. So now when you get to college and you get coached and you're held accountable, it doesn't blow your mind and you're sitting here talking about, oh, let me transfer, let me go do this, let me go do that. No, it's let me persevere. Let me, how do I work my way through this? Coach, what can I do to earn more playing time? You know what I mean? And I think it's just the generation has changed so much because, I think it's so commonplace for parents to be, I'll say, overly involved in a sense of like, I would have been mortified if my dad, who was, who loves me and was involved, but he never went to the high school coach and was like, hey man, why isn't my son playing?
Right.
You got to get, you know what I mean? Like you got to get better.
Right.
You got to get
seriously
better.
Though. Seriously.
Yeah.
So, it's just, I mean, I could go on for all day about that, but I think that contributes to a lot of the lack of success later on in life for a lot of kids, and even, it translates, I think, on to some of these kids who then, if they get the opportunity to go to the NBA, because I can think of a couple kids, from the Seattle area that have had the fortune to go on to the NBA and their whole lives, those kids have been told that they're the best thing since sliced bread, and they've never really been held accountable for all the reasons that I just mentioned. And then they get to the NBA, right? And now they're at the NBA, and all of a sudden, they're not the best thing. What do you mean? There's actually somebody better? There's another guy you can replace me with? What?
Yeah.
But that's the first time that they experienced that, and now they're on the bench or now they're struggling, and if they don't have the mental capacity or the mindset or the mentorship around them, I think then they struggle, and then they find themselves kind of ultimately out of the league, not because they're not good, but those things weren't built into them, I think, from a younger point. So
serious though. No, you're right, because like you said, they could be the main person on their team. All of a sudden, they don't get their entitlement. Now they go into another team, and all of a sudden now what they see is what they think they can be on. That they can be on one team, and they're like, I'm going to play for that team only because that team has green shoes. Everybody on that team got the Kobe's. Mom, I want to go play for that team. What? Why you want to go play with that team? They got on Kobe's. I want to play with this team no more. I want to go play with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, everything Rashaad said, man, it's crazy. It's so crazy, but true.
And think about this, like, and I don't know what he just took off. I was going to ask him about his background, but like, a lot of kids, like, whether he went to high school or JUCO before going to Utah State, I can guarantee, he was probably one of the better players on his high school team or JUCO team. But then when he goes to Utah State, he had there initially and be a role player. You know what I mean? And that's the thing a lot of guys also struggle with, like, and I try to tell kids, I'm like, okay, you're going to start out, you're the man here in high school, but now you're going to transition. And then especially in his case, because they had those guys returning from a mission, the Mormon mission. So they had, we mentioned a guy named Spencer Nelson. Spencer was Bala, what we was talking about, like I mentioned, like you were probably one of the better players on your high school team, or did you go from Utah State? Did you go straight to Utah State, or did you went to JUCO first?
I went to JUCO first, so yeah, it was totally different. That shit went from 32 points all the way down to 8 points. So there was
Utah State.
Yeah.
See, okay, so but that having and now you could have been like, oh man, I'm out of here, but that's not what what I mean. Like you stuck that out, and like I was saying is that I said even more so in your case because you're transferring to Utah State, and they got those men that are coming back from their Mormon missions that are legit. We're now, Coach Ash, we're 21, 22. How was them guys was
25, 24.
This is before the portal, right? These were men. Like,
Coach Ash, real talk, Coach.
You know what I mean? And so, just having the wherewithal to go from averaging 32 to 8.
Yeah.
Like that, that's a huge thing, right? But to understand that, okay, this thing is bigger than that. I'm going to go through and do this. You know what I mean? And and so I think it's just I worry because there's a lot of kids that they don't understand that and that dynamic. And I try to build into all the kids that I work with. Like there's going to be a time where you're going to have to, you'll be, and I tell them that myself. I said, when I played, I've been the role player. I've been the guy that scored the points. I've been the defensive guy. And that's just a part of basketball. And so if you can go, the more versatile and more adaptive you are, the more valuable the more valuable you're going to be, and the longer your playing career is going to be, because there'll be more places and opportunities and avenues for you to be there. But if you're just the scorer and you go somewhere, and maybe what happens if there's a guy that scores better than you?
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And that's the only thing you can do, and that guy does that better than you, you're going to be in the back seat.
You're going to be
And so
in the back seat. Yeah.
And I told him that, and I said, and like in college, your rotation is 8, maybe 9, maybe 9, right? And so if you're in that 9 through 12 spot on your roster,
you're not good.
You're if it's like that, you're on the scout squad.
Yeah,
you're on the scout squad.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe if there's a blowout, and that's a big maybe.
Yes,
you might get 2 minutes,
right?
Like, so just trying to prepare kids for that kind of stuff, man. And I think that's a lost piece of what's going on, because everybody is so afraid to hold kids accountable because they're worried about, kids leaving or transferring, or parents being disappointed, or whatever the case is.
But like you said, Shad, that comes from less experience, man. Like people don't have this experience. They're gonna go through all of that. With the less experience and less understanding, they're gonna go through that, man. And that's just the bad luck. That's just the bad luck. You understand it, you understand it, you're right. You understand it more, you last longer. Things slow down, things look easier once you start to understand it, man. And that's just how it go.
I mean, that is like one of the things like what Rashaad's talking about is the fact that the mindset, even for the coaches, you know what I mean? Rashaad, you know what I mean? I have the same kind of mindset over here in CK. So we're in two completely different worlds, you know what I mean? He's more in the inner city, big city, compared to where I'm at. I'm in the woods, you know what I mean? But the whole idea of that old school, if you want to say, is we understand where you're trying to go. We've been there and we know what it takes to stay there. So if you can't accomplish these things, it's not going to be successful for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that's the biggest part is just, just holding the kids accountable for those who really want to go that route, instead of the entitled part and just being honest. And that's one of the things that I really try to do. And, that's how I was taught. When I played with these guys, like you said, it was a life experience. You learn how to fit in. You understand, I had different roles where I could score. Or, nope, I just need you to do A, B, and C. It's okay. It's my job. You know what I mean? So I love the game, and I played different roles. And if you want to keep, like I said, longevity, get a job. You got to be able to, accommodate what is needed from you as well. You know what I mean? So that was the beauty that I learned with playing with all these guys. Like I sit there, I look at their resumes. You know what I mean? Shy, Watts, like, yo, and I go and tell my story, and I try to be an encouragement where I came through the JUCO, I came through the NAIA, you know what I mean? But it was a grind just to get, I had an opportunity at a tryout, boom, grace of God, I ended up making a squad, and they just, just big brother me, taught me what it needed to, to take to play at this level and give me the confidence. You made it here, so you belong here. You know what I mean? So it's a whole mental mindset. It's a lot that goes into it. Because now you're like, yo, these dudes, these are like legit like top tier players, and I get to run with them. You know what I mean? And when you get in, you better perform. You know what I mean? It's one of those where you say, hey, I take advantage of what it is. And I just was blessed to be on one of the top ranked teams. And went everywhere, a bunch of great players and mentors. But that's the thing too with what we have going on is just saying, hey, I have D1 friends and colleagues, guys I play with that I can legit call, that we got love for each other. And in a sense, they got it out of the mud and where they at, and I had to get it in a different way, but we still came together in the brotherhood that basketball created, you know what I mean, to this day, where I can sit there and say, a lot of the best coaches that's out here in the game, these are my guys, you know what I mean? I'm like,
100%.
you know,
100%.
and so it's humbling because it's like, man, then I come over on my side, I have learned the game, but also coaching and business from these guys that, a lot of us do look up to, you know what I mean? And so it's just showing that love and saying, hey, next generation, we're pointing to you all because this is sort of the recipe, right? We made it here, and although things are changing with, technology and this and that, there's some things that just don't change, So that's what it is. That's what I love about doing what we're doing and being able to see, like I said, Shad. I ain't seen Shad in a minute. I go back and I say, hey, when I tell everybody who knows about our history, Shad is the one who put us in the program. So for those who in the Jamal Crawford program, he was the commissioner at the time. And at that time, they wasn't program and everybody can't get in the program. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Everybody know that, right? And so Shy was like, yo, at that time we was on the come up. We was doing our thing, and Shy was like, you sure? I said, come on, Shy, I just need that one chance. He gave me that opportunity. And man, those guys, mad love. That's what really made us a name. We went 8-0, you know what I mean? I had a chance to against, you know what I mean? This is a witness, you know what I mean? Sit against across from Pops, you know what I mean? We was the all-star coaches, it was things like that. These guys, and I didn't have pro players, so I didn't have people who had these contracts. These was guys who was inspired to be pro. You know what I mean? So when you talk about the Wani and the Perkins, these guys that end up going, some didn't go just more or less because the attitude wasn't that they didn't have skill set. You know what I mean? It's still a mentorship part, but he was, like I said, when I talk about from me playing, how him and his dad, to me with my business, you know what I mean? So these are guys that I sit here and say, you got to give them their flowers and give love as well. You know? These are the cats that gave me that opportunity that I now try to give other folks. I mean, I had somebody who gave me an opportunity. Look at me. You know what I mean? So if I give you the opportunity and encourage you along the way, which they did, that's, you know what I mean, is a part of, I feel like what the game is about too. So like, going back to what Shy asked how long he's been coaching, and he said pretty much his whole life, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. I started, it's crazy. So 04, 05, when I finished college, in between playing, I started coaching high school and coached pretty much every year since 04, 05. The only year I didn't was 07, 08, and I left and went and played internationally for a little bit. And even in the in between times when I was doing that, I would be back coaching. So I've been, like I said, been doing the coaching thing since 04, 05, man. I absolutely love it, especially with getting older and not being able to play at the competitive level like, we were all accustomed to. It replaces, it fills that void, being able to compete as a coach, and just, on a different level. So it fills that void for me, man. I love it. I enjoy it. Especially this time of year, coaching high school ball. And it's just a different level, because it's a different type of strategy, because now you have to prepare the team and, for all aspects. You have to prepare the team for all aspects of the game and prepare these young kids who, in high school is interesting because not everybody loves it. Which it took me a long time. It's weird to say, but it took me a long time to really understand that, like, most of the kids like it, but not everybody loves it. And like hoop for me is a thing that I like. I listen, undying, like love, like nothing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I listen. The three of us know it's just like there's nothing that'll replace it, or so. It was weird for me because up until I'll probably say about 6 or 7 years ago, in my mind, everybody that plays high school basketball, you want to go to college and you want to go play pro because why else are you doing this? Like, duh.
Exactly. Exactly.
And then as I started working in education and doing it more, it's like, dang, there's kids that just like they just want to play high school ball, and then that's it. And I'm like, all right. So you kind of have to balance that. I've been fortunate because I've had more that have the desire to be a higher level, so that kind of helps that. But it's just like finding that balance of understanding and teaching the kids, all those things. And the one parallel I'll say, or interesting thing I've found, because I've had an experience to coach some girls basketball and boys basketball. And I think the biggest difference between coaching boys and girls, boys have, of course, superior athleticism and physical stuff and quote unquote talent. But girls actually listen way more than boys.
Hey, coach, see? Hey, coach, did we say that, coach? Say that.
Hey, man, it's not even close. And it's funny because like I, coaching my guys, I try to get them to buy into all the boring things, the boring, basic, fundamental things. And they're like, yeah, whatever, coach, man, I could jump over the moon. What the hell are you talking about? Watch me dribble. And I'm like, fam, I get it. I understand that you got all these skills. I get it. But, in these games that we're getting into, especially now in the postseason, it's really more so about, you're still great to have that talent stuff, but I need you to understand these fundamental things about the game, because these are going to be the things that, are going to help you. So going back to the beginning, right before this, up here, there was a game that happened. That stadium Timberland game, was that last night, Ash?
It was over the weekend. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah, okay, there you go. So I was about to say it was over the weekend. It was a part of the games that happened over the weekend. It froze.
Hello?
Wait, yeah. Okay, I'm sure he'll be back. You see,
yeah, he coming back.
Shout out to Kurt. Appreciate
you.
Oh
yeah, Kurt. I see you in there, Kurt. What's good, Kurt? What's good, man? So New York guy. I think it's Jersey, from Jersey, I think. One of them. Kurt from New York. He New York. Yeah.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Am I back?
Yeah, you back, my man. So I was about to say, I think the game was this weekend. I just got the footage up late. The stadium in Lincoln. Wait, you said stadium in Lincoln? No, That was Lincoln and Gig Harbor. What's up, Lou? Can you hear me, Shot? Josh.
Can you guys hear me?
Hello? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good, Coach.
What's up, my man? Trying to see if Shy can hear us.
He in there.
Yeah, he there.
Oh man.
Them Thurston boys. I heard of Thurston boys. I've been wanting to check them out, but I haven't seen them yet. I heard they have a 6'7" dude that go crazy.
They from out there?
Yeah, North Thurston. Yeah, no, they boys and they girls go hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Ray Adams. Yeah, that's his name. Ray Adams. I heard him.
All right.
See if it's
I'm ready to get to Japan, man. Like I'm ready to get to Japan, man. I'm trying to. Hey, even though I'm at work is not on my mind. I got Japan locked in. These next 3 weeks, Coach, I'm doing resistance bands. Yeah. I'm so ready. I even went to Adidas and bought some 3-inch thick sole shoes, so I know we're gonna be walking around.
Yeah, you ready this time?
I'm ready. Oh shit, I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah, man. That's all I'm thinking about right now is Japan. That's it.
It should definitely be fun. I'm excited about it. You know what I mean? Your ballaholic and the crew out here.
Man.
There we go.
You got me back? Am I in?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad, man.
You good,
Conked out on me.
You got an Android? Wait, hey, hold on. Hey, Shah, what type of phone you got?
Man, I got that. Man, listen here, man. I got some Apple something, but some I something, man. It's just this big brick building I be in, man. It's got bad service. You try to say I ain't got no flip phone. I try to have you on the old flipper. The old flipper.
Oh shit! Hey, because Ash be making fun of me on my cell phone because I got an Android. They be making
I ain't
fun
got
of
no
me.
droid now, and I ain't got no droid now. Come on.
I thought so because we was in London and they like, yo, like I'm like, damn, my phone finna die. So we go downtown. Everybody who was with had an iPhone, so they charge it. I'm like, fuck, bro, I'm feeling out of place. I ain't got no iPhone. So I'm like, man, I'm down here. I gotta turn my phone off. I gotta wait till we get all the way back to charge my phone up. So they like, but this is true though, because they don't have, like, in each country they don't have a Samsung store, like an iPhone store, Apple store.
Yeah.
So it makes us like, bro, now I got to get an iPhone, man. It's like, because I ordered one, but then it got like, I was like, you know what? I got to wait because the phone, they didn't have it. So I was like, I got to wait till I get me another one, man. So the coach been on my line, man. Every time something happened, man, like, oh, yo, Android, you got an Android, man. True.
Force you to conversion.
Right.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man.
But no, going back to what I was saying before I cut off was that, you know, a lot of times that boring stuff. There was a game. Long story short, there was a game that came down to a buzzer beater up here last night, I believe. And you know, there was controversy whether the basket counted or whatnot. And then somebody hopped. You know, one of the parents actually of a kid on the team that lost said, you know, basically the game doesn't come down to which is a statement I believe. It doesn't come down to the last player, the last shot. There's a lot of things throughout the course of the game, but ultimately, in that scenario, a kid went to the basket, missed the layup. They didn't box out, rebound, gave up an offensive rebound for a layup at the buzzer. And so those are the boring, you know, the boring fundamental things that had that team boxed out, rebound, and got that layup, the game is over. And so, you know, in coaching high school boys, getting them to understand those nuanced details of the game and how important they are to the outcome of the game is incredibly important and challenging. But at the same time, for those that have played Division I college basketball, you understand that those are the things that keep you on the floor, not you know what I mean? Like not the other stuff. If you don't know defensive rotations and you can't box out and rebound, or you're not willing to rotate and take charges and do all those kind of things, you're not going to see the floor.
For real, man. And that's a good talk, man, because the littlest thing, the littlest tiniest thing, man, can make the biggest situation. Like you said, that boxer, all he had to do was just step in front of somebody.
Yep.
Just step in front, the ball come right to you. Box out, but just because you not did that, because it was boring, that's why y'all lost the game.
Yep. And so, you know, those are the things, man, that I've learned in college. Because going back, for the most part, I like to think I did those things, but I also remember how boring they were. But just trying to, understanding like that's what you got to spend time on in teaching, teaching and trying to prepare kids for the next level and to win games. And so that's the challenge, I think, of coaching high school basketball, man. But, I enjoy it. And it's like I said, it presents a different challenge because, like I said, because of the fact of you're not necessarily dealing with, everybody who wants to be there like that or wants it, And so I've been blessed with more that have than have not. And so it's been a fun challenge. And, like Coach Ash came to a game this past weekend and we ended up winning on a buzzer beater, not in the same fashion, but so he's, oh man, this is good, exciting basketball, good fun. I said, for who? For you, because you're not coaching. That shit is stressful, boy. Don't talk about, boy. Oh,
see, Coach. Hey, see, and that's why I told Coach Ashley, I do not want to coach, man. I've coached before. Man. I'm getting letters from these JUCOs, and he's like, no, I'm not. I do not want to coach. I do not want to coach, man.
Man, let me tell you, boy, that is.
Recommend helping you.
But it's fun. Us all being hyper competitive people, it fills a void, man. It makes you compete on a different level than what we did, because now you're responsible for the offensive and defensive aspects and the strategy and the preparation and the development and kind of all those things. And, for me, one of the things I take great pride in is I have some good players, but I don't necessarily have all the quote, what somebody would perceive as quote unquote, the best players. Right. But yet I'm able to coach and motivate them and get the most and the best out of them, and still have successful teams. So again, from a competitive standpoint, I love it because, it allows me to, that's my form of competition. Like I'm competing because I'm able to be successful without what will be perceived as maybe the best players. So
exactly. And then sometimes, man, like the mindset beats talent. You might not have the most athletic, you might not have the most talented, but that man know how if his mind is set, he gonna get there. It's gonna get it done. And that's what a lot of guys don't understand. It's like, yo, you might be talented and skilled, but I'm smart. So I know if the way you shooting is gonna come off this way, I'm gonna get to this spot way before you. You get there, but it's gonna be tough. Yep. It ain't gonna be easy for you. So I like that. Rather than having a bunch of guys who can go, I want their mindsets to be stronger than their skill sets, right? So they're already going to know, like, if I got to get better, of course I got to get in the gym. My mindset's stronger than my skill set. Hell yeah. If I know coach is going to get on me about this, let me do this so he don't get on me. But if he's still on me anyway, let me take this constructive criticism, right? And let me step it up. Let me figure something else out. You know what I mean? And that's how you make your players, man. That's how, even though the game is very complex, we know that, all three of us know that, very complex. But, the more that we make sure these kids understand, like you said, Coach Powell, just pushing them, man, motivating them, pushing them. And there's a difference when we coach our girls, we coach our boys, right? So but we're doing the same thing. We're motivating, we're pushing them to, of course, to be better, but to understand what they're doing and why they should love it rather than like it, what they're doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, I got to come see you, Shad, when I come up there, man.
It's been too long, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll put that together. When we get off this line, I'm going to make sure to Coach Ash shoot you my number.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll stay connected, man. You know what I mean? Keep doing the great things. I love to see you guys connected and doing your platform and doing all your great things, man. And if there's anything I can do to support you, you already know what time it is with that.
Man.
And Coach Ash, I appreciate you being the bridge and putting this together, man. Connecting me back to my old school partner that I ain't seen in a minute.
Man.
Hey, man, I'm sure we could sit here and chop it up all day, man.
Hey, I was just thinking that. I'm like, yo, we could talk for another hour or two just off.
Easy. That's crazy, man. And so, but that's what's up, man. I appreciate you guys having me on, man. Continue to grow your platform and create these opportunities for guys. And like I said, if there's any, either one of you guys, if there's anything that I can ever do to help grow or spread your platform or whatever the thing is that you're doing, man, you already know what time it is, man. So holla at me.
You already know that, pal. Any way to follow before you go off? I always tell the folks, to support the program, how to follow, things like that. You got a tag, Instagram, something?
Instagram at Renton MBB. I also got my Renton Select Basketball at Renton Select Basketball on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And, just doing what I can, man, to help the kids push it forward and support and get, create the next opportunity for them. And just, whatever I can do to help in my community in Renton. So just those two things, Renton Basketball, Renton Select Basketball. That's it.
And you got a game coming up
Saturday at Bellevue College at 6 p.m. versus Anacortes. So that's a seeding game for the state tournament. They're good, we're good. It'll be some good hoop, but we got to come out and do our thing. So that's it.
All right. Appreciate you as always. And you already know we're gonna be in touch. Ballaholic be up here in April, so we see if we can get you linked up.
Hey, make sure that we connect.
Right.
Got it set up, and thank you, Shad, for taking the time. I know you're busy. It's high time, you know what I mean? And I wish you the best. It's always great seeing you and your boys at work, you know what I mean? So it's always mad love for you, Shad.
Yes, sir. My guys. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
I'll let you.
Okay.
All right, Shad.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.